Started. All right, so welcome in all of our tax professionals. Super excited to have you all joining us in on tonight. If you would, go ahead and grab something to write with and write on because we're going to share some information that maybe the first time you've heard it, or maybe it's something that you want to come back and ask a question on the back end. We will do that. We want to show you all how to unlock potential unlimited income. In fact, put the letters 10x and the number 10x. Put 10x in the chat because we want to show you how to unlock additional money doing what you're already doing as a tax professional, right? No matter what capacity, whether you're working on a split with somebody, whether you have your own business, whether you are a CPA, whether you're an enrolled agent, whether it doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a PTIN holder, EFIN holder, it doesn't matter. We're going to show you how to 10x your income tonight, how to unlock new revenue. I'm talking about not doing anything outside of what you're already doing. I'm going to show you tonight how 3 simple questions can change your life. And so I'm going to be your first speaker tonight, guys. My name is Dr. Michelle W. Kofer with Kofer Legacy Group. I am a 7-year tax strategist. I got started in the financial services industry, guys, 8 years ago in 2017. I was introduced to credit repair because at that time, my personal credit score was horrible. I was a social worker struggling, making about $43,000 a year. And I decided to fix my credit, but somebody said, hey, like you can make some money doing that. And I did. And so, guys, about 6 months in, I had doubled my income. Before 12 months hit, I had tripled my income and I was able to walk away from corporate America. But I kept having clients who asked me, do you do taxes too? And I'm like, okay, well, I get it. I understand supply and demand. And so I was like, okay, I got credit in one hand and they're asking me if I do taxes. And so I should start doing taxes. So I've been 8 years in the industry of finance as a whole, but I didn't start doing taxes until 2018. In 2018, my husband and I, we drove to Alabama. We met with our mentors at the time, in a weekend from Friday to Sunday. They taught us everything we knew. And I was just so blessed to get in the space because we made a lot of money our first year with very little experience. Okay. And so in 2019, guys, we really began to scale our business and we continued to scale it until we made our first 6 figures in the tax industry. And then we started showing other people how to do the same thing. And so earlier this year, I decided I was going to make my exodus from the tax space as a preparer, as a trainer, having a team. I've had teams of hundreds of people. I've coached people, and I will pop in occasionally to help, some of the leaders I've mentored over the years, help them train their teams as a special guest appearance. But I am now a tax strategist. I don't do taxes. I don't prepare taxes, but I still work with my clients, my business clients, to help them understand what they need to do, and I refer them out. So I've been in the tax space for 7 years. I made a lot of money in there, but I've also, guys, recently got started in the business funding world. So last November, I was introduced to an amazing platform that just made a lot of sense to me that said, hey, Michelle, you're already meeting with business owners. You already got Schedule C clients. You got Schedule E clients. You got, W-2 clients coming in who want to start businesses, but they don't know where to start. They're not building business credit. So there's another opportunity. And so, guys, I accepted the opportunity to come in and play in this business funding world. And I can tell you, I've made a lot of money. But not only that, guys, we made a lot of impact. So whoever invited you to this line tonight, guys, honestly thinks and respects you highly enough to say, listen, just listen to this. And I want you guys to stay to the end. Don't have a closed mind about this. Don't prejudge what you're about to see before you know it, right? Just listen to what is, in the room tonight and how it could benefit you, because I'm going to show you how you don't have to add any additional paperwork to add some more commas to your checks this tax season. I'm talking about literally in a couple of months, you're going to be able to add more zeros without any of other paperwork. And then you're going to hear from my sister who I met online, Dara Celestine with DCC Financial Group. She's going to come up and share a live testimony, guys, about the power of this platform. In fact, we were just talking the other day, and this call was a last minute impromptu as a result of our conversation. So I'm not going to hold you guys long, but please, 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 if you have questions, you can drop them in the chat, and please maintain, stay on to the end of the call because I am going to open up the mic and answer any questions that you may have. All right. And so, guys, we are getting ready to disrupt the financial services industry. As you heard, there are people on the line right now who are in all sectors of taxes. And I can tell you right now, if you own a tax company, if you work for a tax company, matter if you're part-time or full-time, if you serve tax clients, whether they Schedule C, Schedule E or W-2 clients, there is something in this room for you tonight. And so we've partnered with three major movements: boat funding, which allows us to access over 300 lenders up to 100 million. I'm going to talk about that. We partner with a major multi-million dollar platform called Freedom Path that allows us to serve our clients leveraging AI technology and financial tech, fintech. And then even outside of that, guys, we have a mobilized movement called Business in Black that allows you to partner with like-minded individuals, guys, with one purpose in mind, and that's to help business owners get out of the red and get into the black, meaning create profit, create cash flow. Put the word cash flow in the chat, guys. Cash flow. We want to be able to show people how to create cash flow, because it's one thing to make money, but what are you going to do with that money to make it make more money, right? How are you going to keep and flowing your business with the resources you need to grow and scale? And so we've already had tons of people already partner with this movement who are already in the financial services, who are already doing great things every single year in their tax company. But guess what? The light bulb went off. They saw this information at some point, right? But I mean, I've only been doing this for a year. So they saw this information at some point and they said, hey, put me in the game. And so it doesn't matter, guys, if you're brand new to the tax industry, it doesn't matter. Some of you may be on here that's been doing taxes for 20 and 30 years. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to pinch yourself at the end because you're like, oh my goodness, if I would have known about this sooner, oh my goodness, the money we would have made, the impact we would have had. And so I'm just excited, guys, because I'm going to show you a solution here tonight that I know is going to change the game, which is already changing. When you think about it, being a tax professional, your clients probably call you for everything. You're their financial advisor during the tax season and off tax season. Drop a one if I'm telling the truth, right? They call you for everything. They're about to buy a house. You're not a realtor, you're a tax professional, but they still consult with you. And guess what? Excuse me, that's because they respect you. But business for us, guys, it goes beyond tax filing. Today, we're becoming trusted advisors. We're helping the business owners that we work with every day do far more than just file their taxes, right? Do more than just, submit inquiries to the IRS for them. We're doing so much more. And now if you are a tax owner and if you're not getting paid for business consultation, you're leaving money on the table. If you're not helping your clients get funding, you're leaving thousands upon thousands of dollars on the table. And so now we're bringing a holistic platform that will allow you to serve your clients to keep up with the growing demand of entrepreneurs who are needing business credit. Can I talk to you real quick? Every year in America, let me stop the screen share. I want you guys to hear this. Every year in America, about 4.4 new businesses file to start a business, right? But the data shows us that 97% of them will fail. And the number one reason a business will fail is because they don't have cash flow. The number one reason why they don't have cash flow is because they can't get it, because they can't qualify. The banks turn them down. Their score is not high enough. They haven't been in business long enough. A number of reasons. But if I told you we have the solution, would you be interested? Yes or no in the chat. If I told you we had a solution, would you be interested? Because I know as a tax professional, one of the reasons why I got into the financial services space is because it makes the fastest millionaires. All right. So I can help people with things that they need anyway, and I can create generational wealth. If you're in the room and you're all about generational wealth, I want you to drop a 5 in the chat, because I'm telling you right now, if you understand how money moves, guys, you have a simple play tonight to put this information in front of people that you're going to be sitting in front of already. Whether you run a virtual tax office, whether you have a traditional brick and mortar, whether you have a mobile tax business, whether you coach tax professionals or not, this is a simple play that you can put in front of everybody that you consult with during this tax season, and you can make a lot of money. So business owners are popping up everywhere. That means this year you're going to see an influx of Schedule Cs. People are getting into real estate hand over fist. You're going to see more Schedule Es than you ever saw. And guess what? You need to have a solution. I'm going to show you tonight how you can become an expert without being an expert. I'm going to show you tonight how you can help your clients that you're already serving tap into $25,000, $50,000, $250,000, $1 million, $3 million, up to $100 million in dollars. And you don't need any extra classes. Y'all hear me? You don't need any extra paperwork. All you got to do is add a couple of questions to your intake form, and voila, you're going to add some more commas to your check. Okay. So here's what Americans are doing right now with their tax refunds. Now, I know I'm not the only one that really cares about clients, right? And so I know I'm preaching and teaching to them, don't get this money and go buy a car. Because in 3 months later, you're going to have the car repossessed, and then next year we're going to be buying a new car. Johnny, what you going to do with this money this year? Johnny, you going to get a house? I know I'm not the only one. I mean, maybe I am. Do y'all talk real to your clients? Yes or no? You like try to just really make them make good decisions because you've been working with them for several years, right? But let me tell you what they're going to do. Some of them going to put money in a savings account. And that's cool if we're saving for a purpose, like buying a house, launching a business. We got to educate them. Don't just sit money in the savings account because it don't grow there. All right. Some of them going to pay off their debt, which is great. We want them to pay down debts because we want them to have good utilization, because we want them to build high credit scores so they can leverage their credit to get to the big bank money. OPM. Somebody put OPM. Some are going to take a vacation. Go ahead. Just 10% of people going to vacate with their money. 6% going to do luxury. And we've all seen that, right? Some of us do that too when we get a little money in our hands. Then some of them, guys, only a fraction of them are going to make a major purchase, like something that creates equity. We need to change these numbers. Only 5% of people are going to like invest in something that creates equity. And then 30% are going to put that in their business. So as you see here, guys, the business sector is going to be the third largest of all of the ways people use their tax money. All right. So if you have clients that are going to use their tax refund to start a business and scale a business, I want to show you how to have a simple conversation with them that's going to level up not only what they can do for the new year, but how you can help. All right. So if you already have an intake sheet with your clients, say intake in the chat. You already meeting with them. Maybe it's a job form, some kind of doc form you have. Maybe you send in an app, depending on your software. You're already having them fill out some questions. Okay. Say yes in the chat. You already having them fill out some questions. All right, they're filling out some questions. We're getting a little bit of information. So this is what I want you to add to your intake sheet. You're going to ask, are you looking to make a large purchase with your tax refund, like a house or car, or invest in your business? Okay. Do you know your credit score? Now, some of you may already be offering that as a service. Many tax pros are not, and we got an easy hands-off system for you tonight. I'm going to show you. Are you looking to improve your credit score? Excuse me. They say yes. Okay. Are you interested in credit repair? They say yes. Okay. Does your business need funding? They say yes. Okay. Are you looking to build business credit? They say yes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you tonight how if they answer yes to any one of those, you can add, guys, thousands of more dollars to what you already are earning. So I know like what the average Schedule C, we may charge $700, $500 on the low end, right? You know, depending on how many businesses they're filing, you may add a little bit more. The average W-2 person, maybe $350, $400, depending on your tax office, where you're going to make that anyway. So if I had, 10 Schedule C clients and I already got them in my office, and all 10 of those clients I'm going to charge $500 for, I made $5,000. But what if I could show you how to make $5,000 on that one client? Would anybody be interested in learning about that? Because I'm going to talk about it here in a second, all right? Would anybody be interested in learning about that? So real quick, guys, Freedom Path is a 4-year-old company. I've been a part of this movement along with several of the leaders on here. Miss Sheila Pullum has been in the company for 2 years. I've been here a year. It's a debt-free company. Mr. Ragland has over 30 years in the financial services space. That's how we got access to 300 lenders. He's had a lot of partnerships in the banking world, and it paid off. Mr. Kevin Carroll, IT guy, well over 15 years developing systems, technology, making things easier. And then Mr. Kent Williams, I actually personally mentored him to his first 6 figures, but he is the GOAT in the real estate industry and sales. They recently brought him to our company as a VP of sales. So I'm super excited to have them here. Formalities aside, guys, this is a great platform. You can look us up. You can Google it. We got great reviews. And so I wouldn't put my name on it as a minister if I didn't trust it. I wouldn't put my name on it and my business on it as someone who's been building in this industry for 8 years, who has a great reputation, who's made 7 figures from my cell phone. I wouldn't wouldn't touch this if it didn't work. Okay. So I want to talk about what we offer tonight and why you're invited. Because as a tax professional, guys, if you don't add business funding to your portfolio, then you're missing a lot of cash. It's almost like Cedric Entertainer said it a while ago. It's like you struck a match and just walked out on the money, and the money was just burning in flames on the table. We have a comprehensive system here, guys, where we work with a 30-year veteran underwriting team. If you have a client sitting in your desk and they say they need funding, they say yes to that intake questionnaire, that they need funding, you can send them a link from a website that this company has already built for you. That client fills out that application. If they have a 680 FICO or they have 3 months in business, guess what? We can get them anywhere from $2,500 to $100 million in funding. Drop some money bags in the chat because it's very simple. All right. We can serve clients in the U.S., Puerto Rico, and Canada when it comes to funding. Not all of Canada, but certain parts of Canada. But for the U.S. and Puerto Rico, we got to cover all day long. So it doesn't matter if they need startup money, if they need equipment funding. It doesn't matter if they are in real estate. Listen, who on the line is in real estate investing, right? You need fix and flip money. DSCR, new construction, bridge loans, we cover it. Guys, we work with big banks like Fifth Third and Chase. We work with hard money lenders. We work with trust money. We work with SBA. We work with private equity lenders. We work with a gamut, guys, and that's how we're able to offer our clients everything. So even if they just started their business or they've been in business a long time, we can help everybody. Now, with the exception, we don't help guns and ammunition, and we don't help adult entertainment. Okay, excuse us, but we ain't helping. Okay, but we can help everybody else, guys. And the approval process is quick and easy. I know some people, are working with funding platforms and they might can get 50,000 for their clients, but all they get is MCA loans. Well, guess what, guys? We are a true funding entity, and as a result of our partnership with Boat Funding, we've literally helped millions and millions of dollars in funding secure businesses here in our country. But let's say you have clients sitting in front of you, right? And they want to build their business credit. Let me just talk to you. Maybe you're a tax professional and you haven't formalized your own business. Because I was 1 year into entrepreneurship before I was like, ding, 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 girl, you filing as a sole proprietor. What are you doing? You need to formalize your business, guys. And so even if you're a tax pro and you haven't formally structured your business or you're not building business credit, you can benefit from what I'm showing you tonight, not just as a partner, but you could be your own customer and get paid as a result of it. So what we want for every entrepreneur is to become bankable. That means we want you to be able to walk into a bank and walk out with at least $50,000 if you need it to grow and scale your business. Get out of the red into the black, the whole essence of the business and black movement. So becoming bankable, guys, is going to allow you to be able to get financing. Somebody put other people's money. You're going to be able to get the financing you need, right? And so this is a digital course that we offer. I know as tax pros, many of us have, tax academies where, it's on demand and people come into a school community or stay in store, they buy our courses or whatever. Well, guess what? We offer the same thing for Business Credit Academy, and our clients are able to come in here, build out their vendor accounts. We have over 3,000 vendors right inside the portfolio. They don't have to go out to Google and figure out what they need. They set everything up. They build a bankable profile. They're NAP validated, guys. They have everything they need. And once they're done with this course, unlike anything else I've seen in the market, they are guaranteed $50,000. Somebody say guaranteed in the chat. 50K. They're guaranteed. You finish this, you check all the compliances, boom, 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 boom. We're guaranteeing you that we're going to get you at least at minimum $50,000 in funding. Now, this is not grant funding. This is funding. You got to pay it back. But we know that by the time they're done. And what I love about this, guys, is as a tax professional, you're busy. You got things going on. We know how it is. January to March, baby, it's back to back. It's team no sleep. And we get that, right? I especially understand. I did that for 7 years. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to strategize with clients because I'm done with that overnight, all night stuff because I've been in credit, taxes, funding all at the same time. It's literally like I get no sleep and I'm getting older. So I'm not saying you give up on what you do. I'm just saying I'm giving up on some of the things I'm doing because I'm getting older and I know my body is tired, okay? But you can help them, guys, and get paid from this. You literally can refer them to this and make $700 on a referral. So this is a huge, huge opportunity. And then if you don't already have credit repair, I know many of us by now have already added that because that's been the play for the last 5-6 years. We've had credit repair. But listen, if you don't have a system, we do have an amazing AI system that Mr. Kerry apparel actually built out. It's proprietary. It's not white label. Nobody in the industry is doing this, but it gives clients everything they need, guys. And on top of giving your clients the tools to elevate their credit score from a click of a button, you're going to give them 66 wealth tools. They get a will, a trust. If your score is not there, you can use this too. They get $1 million of identity theft protection, and they get the access to the biz path. So they get to go in and do a free business success scan that's valued at a couple of $100s. They get to see where their business has gaps, where their business could be improved, and all of that they're doing from the comfort of their home. They get to save money. Listen, if you like going somewhere and traveling, put one in the chat. They get to save money on hotel, airfare, car rental. I just celebrated a year doing this, guys. I saved over $3,000 in the last 12 months by using the travel piece of this platform. And so we are a full service company, guys, but a lot of times people like, yeah, people talking, they say it worked. I just want to know, does it work? These are a fraction of some of the results we've had. I mean, you see the screen right here. Not only do we have AI credit repair, funding. Not only can we help our clients build their business credit, you can also play in life insurance if that's something you want. Like, I'm not interested in that, but we have people who are. So you get to choose your path of wealth. And that's what I love about this. We have 4 ways for you to build your wealth, whether it's helping people boost their scores, like Sheila, who's a TAXPRO, 127 point. That's me right here, client 125 point. Whether, you're like Mama Maria, she's a pastor out in Texas. She's a tax professional. In fact, she's a CPA. And let me put some respect on her title. She's a CPA, leveraging this platform to fund her clients. Delisa Rowe in Louisiana. Where's she? Baton Rouge. No, New Orleans. She just had a client yesterday, 2 days ago, funded. I did a consultation with her on last Monday. Her client was funded by Friday. Very simple process, guys. 31,000, 54,000. These just are some. We've had people approve all the way up to $3.4 million, guys. And so what I'm wanting you to know is it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It doesn't matter, your background. Specifically, we're talking to tax professionals tonight. But if you're in real estate, if you're in insurance, if you're a counselor, if you're a pastor, preacher, if you already have trust amongst your client base already, this just makes sense to add on. So these are some of the people that are getting results. And so what I want to do, guys, because I'm getting ready to show you guys the framework that you're going to get. But before that, I want to bring up a live testimony. I don't see, let me see. Dara, I'm looking for her. Are you under iPhone? Let me see. I don't see her in the room. Let me see. I'll keep on going. She may pop in. Somebody, if you guys could, for me, Miss Chelsea or Miss Lamika in the group, make sure everybody has the right link for tonight's call. If you could just take this link out, because it definitely should have been far more people. And I saw when we were starting, people were saying, what's the code or what's the password? There is this one link. So somebody's saying we're on a different lines. I think somebody shared the wrong Zoom with everybody. Thank you, Miss Chelsea. But we're going to circle back. Thank you. We're going to circle back. Thank you, Sheila. I see you guys. We're going to circle back. So we'll come back because I want you guys to understand the power of what you have. So you're already doing taxes. You already have your software. You're working with, whoever you work with. You're working with your banks. You're working with just like, what you have set up, guys. We have something set up similar. So you get your own back office. You get your own client portal, everything that you need to be able to see what's happening in your business. You see that the company provides that to you. But again, you don't fix credit and you don't do loans. You refer them to our platform and our team, our system is going to do the work. So essentially, you're meeting with your client. You let them know what you do. Mr. Johnny, I know I've been doing your taxes for 7 years. I absolutely have really appreciated working with you and your wife. Are you all looking to make a large purchase this year? Or, I know it looks like things were kind of tight on business this year. Do y'all need any capital? Mr. Johnny said, yeah, we need a new U-turn mower because the lawnmower business has been crazy. Things were slow this year. Well, Mr. Johnny, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link for funding. I've partnered with an amazing funding company. They can help you get some cash flow in, okay? And so you send him the link. That's all you do. You're working with Mary. Sister Mary got 2 kids, and Sister Mary's been living in an apartment for the last 5 years. Sister Mary needs some tax shelter. Help her get a house so we can write some of them property taxes off. Well, guess what? Sister Mary's score is a 500. That's why she don't have a house. Sister Mary, I'm going to send you this link. I have an amazing AI platform that's going to help you elevate your score. So by this time next year, you and your babies are in a house, okay, by the summer. And so you're literally able to just send them a link, guys. They go directly to your site. I'm going to show you at the end what that looks like, how quick it is. They go directly to your site and boom, you're in there. So every referral you make to this platform, guys, whether it's for credit repair, which is housed under Freedom Wealth, whether it's the Business Credit Academy, whether it's the funding, whether it's the life, guys, everything you do here, the company's going to pay you for those referrals. So here's how it works. So I know many of y'all work on splits, right? So you might be on a 50-50. If you're, the ERO, you're the service bureau, you sell your software and you got your team under you, they get a piece, you get a piece. All right. That summertime money come in real nice in the summertime. Okay. We love that part of taxes. I love them bonus checks. Okay. But here's how it works. The tax software company or whoever you're working for, they're going to pay you. And so this is the same with this company setup. You do business with us, we're going to pay you for sending us business. So every referral you make, and I'm going to show you the money, so you want to get your calculators out, go ahead. Every referral you send to this company for funding, whatever they make, you get 40% back. Credit, whatever they make, you get 40% back. Business credit, whatever they make, you get 40% back. If the client is a client that has to have a monthly recurring, so like credit repair, then guess what? They're going to give you 30%. And so this is how you can be making money all year long for real, not just make a whole bunch of money in the top of the tax season. So let's take a look at something here, guys. So I want to go through this and I want you guys to understand something. Now, I'm not promising anybody on here that they can make six figures in the funding game, but I can tell you it's being done. Okay. So I know how we say, start your tax business, make $30,000 in the first 3 months. I know that, but I'm not going to promise anybody on this line because y'all have seen people that get started with you in taxes and do nothing. You train them on how to market. You train them on the system. They don't put in one tax return. Am I lying? All right. So we here. Okay. But what I'm saying is for the people that go get it, the money is out here. And I'm not going to even show you that you can get paid through 10 levels. Okay. So not only do you get paid for what you do, and if you build a brokerage team, which I would do if every tax preparer around me, I would make sure they have funding as well. I can make overrides. So let me just show you an example too here. So let's say you got a client, they get a business loan for $200,000. Okay. And let's say that the company earns 5.4% on that. Let's do the math. Well, I got it up here already. I was going to say, pull your calculators out. I should have let it just, how you do the little fly-ins. I should have did a fly-in animation. But so let's just say the company does 5.4%. That means that's what the company makes on that. Okay. So the company would make $10,800. All right. Well, guess what? They're going to give you 40% because you referred them. And you're like, that don't seem fair. Well, they doing all the work. All you did was send a link out. You didn't collect any documents. You didn't have to follow up. You didn't have to call. You didn't have to take no paperwork. You didn't have to scan nothing. You didn't have to fax nothing. You didn't have to be responsible for no file. All you did was send a link. So they're going to keep 60, you keep 40. So in this particular example, guys, you just made $4,320 for sending a link out. Can anybody do that on the line? Say yes or no. Is that easy for you? I can send a link. The client gets the money, the company get paid, and they're going to shoot me a check for $4,320. I'm with that. Okay. And then let me show you. So let me give you an example. So let's say I shared this with Miss Sheila Pullum. Sheila Pullum is my girl. She's a tax professional out on the West Coast. And Sheila's like, okay, this makes sense. Put me in the game. Sheila goes out and let's say this is Sheila's client. Okay. So Sheila's client got 200,000. Bolt made 1080. Sheila made 4320. Bolt is going to pay me a 20% check match on what Sheila did because I partnered with her directly. Okay. So I just made $864 in my sleep and I don't even know her client's name. Are y'all hearing me tonight? This goes through 10 levels. So we earn passive income through 10 levels. Somebody please drop some money bags in the chat. So let me show you this one. So let's say we go out and we get a church funded 1.25 million. Or let's say, I don't know, a real estate investor. It doesn't matter, whoever, a trucker, it doesn't matter. They get 1.25, right? So let's say Bolt got 5%. Well, guess what? That means they're going to make 67.5K. All right? In one check as the broker, in one check. You're going to earn 27,000. And all you did was send them to a website, you send a link out there, and guess what? They filled it out. They had this credit score, the credentials. Bolt reaches out to your client within 24 hours. They pick it up from there. They're going to put notes in your portal so you can see what's going on with your deal. Your deal is going to get funded. You're going to get paid. Okay. This is at 5.4%. So let me just talk to you tax pros. How many of y'all remember PPP? Put PPP in the chat if you remember. Now, some of us got PPP. Some of us helped people get PPP. What was the percentage everybody was charging on that? Y'all remember? Let's talk. I'm going to pull the calculator out on y'all on this one. How much everybody was getting or charging on PPP? Anybody remember? Okay. I'm going to show y'all. Let me bring my calculator up. Every person I know that did PPP or paid for somebody to do their PPP was charging 10%. Now, I got a calculator up here. So let's just say if I had a client that got funded 200,000 at 10%, because that is possible. In the commercial lending world, guys, it's very different than residential. Residential, we know right now, I buy a house, interest rate about 6%, 6.4, 7%. In commercial, it's typically about 5.5 to 10%. Now, if a person doesn't have good credit, it can go higher than that. But 10% is not bad, and people understand it in commercial money. But let's just say if it was a 10% deal, because I want to show you how this can get crazy. So let's say 200,000 at 10%. So that's 20,000 that Bolt would make. You're gonna get 40%. You got 8,000. Can y'all still see this calculator? Somebody can unmute and let me know.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say $200,000 loan times 10% is 20,000. That's what Bolt made. You're going to make 40%. That's $8,000. That's what you made. Okay. Now, I'm going to go through a couple examples. So if you have a tax team, this is why everybody in your tax team should also be doing funding, because you get paid through 10 generations. Okay. So let me just say, I'm going to write down the names so I don't forget what names I said. So let's just say Sheila, Tara, Dara, Chanel, Chelsea. I'm going to just go through 5 levels. So Sheila, let's just say this is her client. She made 8,000. Well, I introduced this to Sheila, so I'm going to earn 20%. So times 0.2. So I just took home $1,600 because Sheila got a client funded. But then Tara is underneath Sheila. And let's just say if this was Sheila, Tara's loan, I'm going to get 15%. So if this was Tara that got funded times 0.5, I'm going to get 1,200. Okay. But let's say Dara was on Tara's tax team and Dara was actually the one who got funded. Then I'm going to get 10%, 8,000 times 0.1 of what was made. That's 800. And so Chanel is under Dara. So let's just say Chanel is on my 1, 2, 3, 4th level. So I'm going to get 8% of the 8,000 that Chanel just made times 0.08. So that's $640. And then Chelsea's down at the 5th level. Y'all, please follow me right here. I know y'all like numbers because y'all tax professionals. Okay. Hold on. So Chelsea's down at this level. So I'm going to get 6%. So $8,000 times 0.06. All right. So $480. All right. So if this loan belonged to Chelsea and Chanel introduced this to Chelsea and Dara introduced Chanel and Tara introduced Dara and Sheila introduced Tara and I introduced Sheila, that's 5 generations of money on this one loan. So I'm going to have coming up through this chain, these are the opportunities to make income. Somebody's going to make 480. Somebody's going to make 640. I wish I had my little chart. Let me do that. That's what I should have did. I'm just showing you how the money's going to split. Let me give you a chart so you can see that everybody that's connected to that deal. Let me find a little annotate. What a little, I don't see the little chart thing. Don't worry about it. Let me just tell you, because I don't see the little chart thing coming up here. Everybody that's connected to that deal is going to make money. So somebody's going to make 480, somebody's going to get 640, somebody's going to get 800, somebody's going to get 1200, somebody's going to get 1600, somebody's going to get 8,000. The person that gets the 8,000 is the one that did it. It was their deal that they referred. Are y'all following me right here? I don't want to lose anybody. The person whose client it was is going to get 8,000. But depending on where they are in that lineage, depending on where they are on the team, somebody else is going to make money and they're going to make a percentage of what was made on that 8,000. So it might be all the way down through 10 levels where it's 1%, which you're like, that ain't nothing, but you didn't even know the client. So this is the power, guys, of leverage. Put that word in the chat, leverage. Let me keep on going. I don't want to lose you guys tonight, but there's leverage. And I did an even number just to show you guys how the money can be made, okay? And that's just a couple of deals, but guys, you know clients that need their businesses funded. You know people that need funding. And then not only the client, the company is going to pay you the 40% for the referral, the 30% on the residual, they're going to give you a weekly bonus. Now, this weekly bonus, guys, by itself is 6 figures a year. If you go through this and you're helping, clients and you're earning 20 points, because remember all of those products, you got Freedom Wealth, you got funding, you got insurance, you got the BCA, all of that, guys, has points. So just for example, if you got 4 deals funded and got paid for 4 deals in 1 week, that's 20 points. That's $2,500 in bonus on top of the 40% that they paid you for the referral. And that continues to go, okay? But then you have points, and because you have a team, you're not a solo taxpreneur, right? You have a team of tax pros working with you, like Aisha has a team, like Kiana has a team, like Sheila has a team, like Tara has a team, like Michelle had a team. You working with, like Yolanda has a team, like Tangela had a team. You're working with a team of tax pros, and every time they do business in this platform through referrals, they're getting points too. So I can have a team of 15 tax preparers. Let's go smaller. I can have a team of 10 tax preparers. And based on them just having 15 points in this system referred, that's an extra $12,000 a year you add to what you're making already in taxes. And this is 1 out of 5 ways that you get paid. This is another 6-figure play right here. Not promising anybody any income, but just want you to know I can have a tax team of 10 and they all get 30 points. Everybody's serious. They're go-getters. They're funding deals left and right. They're helping people build their business credit, get their credit up. Guys, that's an extra $2,000 a month. This is passive income now I'm talking about. That's $24,000 a year. So this money gonna hit your bank account in the tax season and out of tax season. So whether I'm January to April or whether I'm flowing all the way through October, this is going to allow you to get paid from January to December all throughout the year, guys, all the way up to 128,000. Now, I shared with you the company's been here for 4 years. My team and I, we've been doing this for a year. We just celebrated 1 year on the 8th of November. Okay. And so 2 months into this platform, we already have people making $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $8,000 a month. And we're a year in. All right. So what I know is now that everybody understands the rhythm of how to attract business owners, 2026 is going to be the most dynamic year we've ever seen. So who do we want to work with? We want to work with tax professionals first because you already got Schedule C clients. You already got real estate investors who have to file their taxes with you. So you already got clients sitting in your chair, right? Or sitting on your Zoom or in your app. We want to work with tax professionals. We want to work with real estate professionals. Why? Because they know people who want commercial money. We want to work with insurance agents. We want to work with kingdom leaders. We want to work with coaches. So if you fall in any of those categories, and even if you don't fall in any of those categories, we would still love to work with you. Even if you're not a business owner, we would love to work with you. We have a whole community of people we're showing how to build business nationwide. This is the broker model. This is what I was showing you earlier. If somebody in your network, if brokers, funding brokers get paid, you get paid 20% on the first level all the way down to 10 levels, guys. So no matter how much money they make, you get paid on that. We have a lot of fun. In fact, we're getting ready to go on a cruise right now. We got tons of tax pros who've already qualified for the cruise. You know, we got weekly pay, monthly pay. We get paid bonuses. You can work from anywhere. You choose your own schedule. So we know that right now everybody's training their teams. They're getting their, starting players ready for the game. We know that. So this is an opportunity for you right now to learn how to send a link from a website, and your client is going to be taken care of. How to know what's back there. All we want you to know, guys, 680 FICO, 3 months of bank statements, 10,000 a month is best, but we do have lenders that can go down 5, 7,000. We're going to give you the website, everything you need. This is a willable business as well. And guys, if you're on the line, no matter who invited you tonight, this makes sense. It's a simple, simple play. You add this on. We're going to grab you by the hand, show you what to do. There are tons of tax pros who've already said yes to this platform. We're going to show you what to do so that guess what? All you got to do now is send that link out and boom. You just help your client get empowered, because I know many of daycares that will be closing their doors if they didn't get their hands on extra cash. I know plenty of truckers who want to be owner operators, people who cooking out their kitchen that want a food truck. In fact, one of my clients, Tyra, just got his food truck. Want a food truck. Or like my friend Nietzsche, who was cooking out of her house and now has a storefront. Butter Bites. Business owners are ready to go next level, guys. I am working on a project. I was talking to Miss Squire, shared this with her a couple of months ago. She immediately signed up. She's tax pro real estate investor. And I'm like, well, I went through the process because I want to see if it worked. I got approved for 78,000, but I'm like, I'm trying to do a fix and flip. And I'm like, will that be enough? And she's like, girl, yeah, that's more than what you need. I want to do duplexes, guys. Who's going to fund this for me? This platform. I'm going to use this platform right here to break ground on my multiplex. I know that you guys are doing taxes, but I know you have the mindset of building wealth. You don't want to just do taxes, right? So there are other things you need other reasons why you need to create that cash flow for yourself so that you can jump off into investing. Some of y'all want group homes. Some of you want to have your own fleet company. Somebody, and it's yours. It's yours because you want it, Jasmine. If you believe for it, it's yours. I don't believe God opened this door for us, guys, to not have it. To have access to 300 lenders and $100 million for 289. And we know people right now got school communities charging you $5,000 and $7,000 to get in there, but they can't guarantee you $50,000 when they get done. They can tell you you're going to get funded or you're going to have some tier accounts. I mean, I got tier accounts. I got $200,000 in them. But I want to be around people that's going to educate me and give me the whole play. I want to be around people to show me how to put my vehicle in my business name. I want to be around people who are going to show me how to go buy tax liens. Y'all understand it? So we have a whole community of people where we reach down and pull up. If you're that person that don't like sharing what you're doing is working, we don't want you in our circle. We want people around us that don't mind say, hey, y'all, I don't learn how this AI thing works. Let me show you. Girl, I'm attracting leads on autopilot. Let me put you on the game, because we know that there's abundance. There's no shortage of money out here. There's no shortage of money. So, guys, to partner with whoever invited you on the line tonight, $289 simply to get started. There's an overhead of $99 a month, but guys, you make that back. You refer one person to the platform, you're going to make that money back. And what we want to do is position you for commerce. So we're going to do a strategy session to help tax pros. It'll probably be a day when you guys are least busy, which was a Sunday. I know you're training your teams through the week, usually Tuesdays, Thursdays. So we're going to do like a Sunday strategy session to show you, A, how to make this money from the clients you're already serving. B, how to make this money by partnering with people who are already doing exactly what you're doing. And C, how to target other financial services so you can easily add this on as a service, and you don't have to do any extra paperwork. You don't have to go door knocking door to door. You can do this from the comfort of your home. Road signs, car magnets, literally running ads. Things you're already doing for taxes is going to be an easy layup. All right. And so I know I do have a few of our tax pros on tonight. I know Miss Sheila is on. I don't see if Dara came in or not. And she might have just got caught up with, with some things. She does insurance as well, and I know how that goes. She does life, health, property, and casualty. So I get it. Sometimes you get pulled away last minute and stuff comes up. And so we highly respect that. But listen, I don't know, Miss Sheila, if you're able to speak, just raise your virtual hand so I'll know you can. Okay, I see the mic.
I'm just
But
gonna come on in here.
listen, but I want to make sure let me set this up, y'all. So this is one of my colleagues. I absolutely love working with this lady. So I told you guys I've been in financial services for 8 years. She and I met 8 years ago at a training in the credit industry. I don't influence her income. She don't influence my income. And, we always just kind of toss ideas around each other. I've seen this lady make several six figures working from her cell phone, building a big business. And then last year, when I got ready to get into business funding, I found out that she was in this platform. And I'm like, hold on a minute. Now, I ain't know my sis was over here doing business funding. So I'm like, let me make a phone call. Sheila, this stuff really worked. So I called up my girl and she was like, yes, sis. And she was like, I added this and it's game changer, the Business Credit Academy. And so, guys, she is a top producer here, a top leader in this platform. In fact, she got Broker of the Year. We had a live event in March. She got Broker of the Year. So this is someone I highly respect, running multiple lanes in the funding industry, credit, taxes, and funding. So she is a force to be reckoned with. She is an investor. We were just in Orlando for a real estate investment boot camp. In the room with some multi-million-dollar moguls. So she's someone I respect. But Miss Sheila, as a tax professional, what would you say on this line tonight? And the floor is yours, however you come. What would you say to them about why this platform makes sense, what you love about it, how you've been helping folks, and whatever you want to share tonight? Y'all drop some fire symbols in the chat for her for being impromptu tonight. I appreciate you, sis.
Yeah, I had to come down to my parents, so I had to come run to the light. But I want to drop some fire in the chat for Dr. Michelle Cofer. Let's start there. Drop some fire in the chat for her just laying this information down beautifully. And what I was saying about why it makes sense, why wouldn't it make sense is a better question. Why wouldn't it make sense? Because you already have an existing book of business. You have people that have businesses already that need funding. You have people that have businesses that need credit repair. You have people that need what we have to offer. And the best part is you don't have to do it. You don't have to sit down in front of the computer, plugging in all the information. All you have to do is send a link and let the company do the rest, or let the client do their credit repair. So it just makes sense. It just makes sense. I've been doing this now. So I've been in credit for 8 years and I've been taxes for 6 years. And all of my tax clients on my credit, all of my clients are intermingled. My clients are on all sides of my business, real talk. So that's why it makes sense to me, because the bottom line is the bottom line and the math is mathing. And that's why it makes sense to me.
Somebody drop some money bags in the chat for the mathing. Because, see, I know 5 times 5 is 25. And I know 2
Listen,
times 2 is 4. All right.
listen.
So listen, Matt, we want, listen, this is how we want our money to grow. We want our money to grow in multiples, right? So we can go out and we can add one client and another client and another client. But if you heard her, she said my clients are intermingling. That means one client really equals 3 transactions. That's multiplication. And then when you multiply that by every client in the book of business, that's exponential multiplication. And I know as tax pros, we be crunching some numbers. We know how to pull out a calculator and make the math, right? So I know we're amongst our tribe. And so if you're invited on this call, guys, who's on here that's a guest? Raise your virtual hand. Let me see who's in this room as a guest tonight. If you're on here as a guest, raise your virtual hand. It's right above the react button. Raise your virtual hand if you are on here and you were invited by somebody tonight. And don't be scared. We cousins. It's Friday night. All right. Jennifer is a guest. All right. Welcome in. Who invited you, Jennifer? Who else is a guest? Okay. Valente is a guest. Come on in. Who else is a guest? Jasmine. Jennifer was invited by Aisha. Listen, powerhouse. Shakori, who invited you? Okay, Jasmine. Look, Aisha done got y'all in the room. Let me tell y'all. Aisha's a boss, all right? So we're talking about someone who came out of the hair and beauty industry who got in credit. Aisha partnered with my mentee, Kiana, because Kiana was referring her real estate deals to Aisha for credit repair. So Aisha saw the platform after Kiana saw the platform and said, hold on, wait a minute. Got in and y'all, woo, straight to the top. So if you're on here, Shakori was invited by Chelsea. Listen, Chelsea learned to do taxes in 2023, I believe. Chelsea, I remember her coming through my tax cohort. So you're in the room with some bosses. So if it makes sense to us, it makes sense to you, or at least it should. So if you're on, guys, you have any questions, go ahead, raise your virtual hand. I'll open up the mic, take some questions. But this is what I want you to do if it makes sense. Like we're talking less than $300, okay? 289. Get back with them. Say, hey, I want in. And if you're like, you know what, I done spent my little dimes. I've been buying my turkeys and my collard greens and collard yams, my candy yams, and I ain't got 289. Let's still figure it out because we can figure out how to make it work. Okay. So we got some options. If 289 is a budget buster, which, you know, if it is this time next year, it will never be. Because we ain't gonna never let $300 stop us from 300,000, okay? But if it's a budget buster right now, make sure you let them know you want in and ask them, you know, how can they set you up for success? And we'll make that happen tonight, okay? And so any questions you guys have, because I don't want you to get off the line and go ask somebody that wasn't in here and they didn't hear this information about what you should do with your wallet and your bank account, because essentially that's what you would be doing. If they don't know what we know and you're going to consult with them and get their opinion on something, ask yourself this question: would I want to trade places with them financially? Because I'm going to tell you, I a long time ago, Miss Chanel Johnson, a long time ago, I stopped taking advice from people I didn't want to trade places with. So my best friend can give me consultation on anything except money, because she can't tell me about how to get money, because I've been getting money for 8 years. So I ain't consulting with her. She still got a 9 to 5. Okay. I ain't asking her nothing. She still believes in corporate America. No shade to corporate America, but it's just, I don't do corporate America no more. Listen, anybody in the room ready to boss up or already bossing, ready to take your business to the next level? Miss Valerie Riddle. Valerie is a multi boss, y'all. We talking about logistics. We talking about credit. We talking about trucking. We talking about funding. It made sense to her. Tax boss with the Moses. Miss Chanel Johnson. She on here. Mom of 12 babies. But Chanel said, boom, I'm going to get this paper. I'm going to boss up all year long because I don't want to ever have to depend on the government to feed me. So she said, boom, credit, boom, taxes, boom, insurance, boom, realtor, boom, funding. Sis got 5 businesses in one house. She said all of it. She been in this space. Somebody said definitely made sense. She been in this space, I know what, at least 8 years. She's in technology and all that good stuff. Lamika Coleman Doss. Lamika is a nurse by day, but guess what? Taxes in the evening. Funding and credit in the evening. She got a game plan to retire her boss. Some things just make sense, y'all. So some things just make sense. I can tell you, and we're done, y'all. It's Friday. If y'all got any questions, please ask them. Because if not, I'm going to show y'all. Y'all need to be getting started, okay? One of the things my mentor told me, one of my mentors, when I first got started in financial services, she said this to me, guys. She said, Michelle, and she's an 8-figure earner, by the way. She said, Michelle, it's going to be a lot harder for you to make your first 6 figures than you to make your first 7. And so, what do you mean, Nicola? And she said, I'll let you prove it to yourself. So time began to happen, guys. And here I am, a social worker making $43,000, coming home in the dark. Degrees on the wall, multiple degrees, but lights cut off. Sitting on a molded, well, it wasn't molded. The windows were molded, but the couch smelled like mothballs. It should have been molded the way it smelled. But just struggling. And she said, it'll be harder to get to 6 figures than it is your first 7. And so it was hard. It was real hard because I was in school full time. I had a husband. I had a brand new baby. It was hard. But I believe, those nights when I stayed up at night, it was paying off. And I kept on grinding. I kept on grinding. And 6 months in, I was like, you can do this kind of money from your phone? 6 months in, I made $5,000 on the side. Before 12 months, my other mentor, who went on to become multimillionaire, she said, Michelle, if you can make 5,000, you believe you can make 10 in a month? I said, yeah. She said, what about 15? I said, yeah. So 11 months later, guys, we hit that. And then we went on to show other people how to do that, how to make their first six figures, quarter of a million, half a million. We've mentored them to even half a million plus. But then that next year, I was talking to a young lady at my mentor's house, the same one who said it was going to be harder. And she had a lady who she introduced that was in the tax industry. Her name was Tammy Arnold. And Tammy was talking about how much money she had made in taxes. And she said she had a girl down in Florida who had made six figures in just like 60 days. And I'm like, how was that possible? So that piqued my interest about getting into taxes. And so I came, and there was a like an online academy. It was like $7,000. It's like this tax thing. And I was going to buy it, but something said, wait. Well, my husband came home that evening. He said, babe, I met this guy named Eric, and him and his wife Monique, they do taxes. I said, for real? Because I was just sitting here thinking about we should add taxes. This is 2018 now. I was just thinking we should add taxes. And he said, we want to meet with him. So we got on the phone and we met with him. And they was like, you know what? We like y'all. And I said, well, how much is it to train with y'all? And they said, God said to just sow what we know into y'all. So, okay, well, how we gonna learn? Well, can y'all come to Alabama this weekend? And guys, we went to Alabama. This was like, I don't know, December. No, this was January 2018. We went to Alabama, and in one weekend we learned about taxes. And that year my husband and I did taxes by ourselves. And then every year from there we added, we grew a team. We eventually, when I stopped, I had software. In fact, I sold my whole book of business and my software earlier this year to somebody because I just want to strategize with clients now. I'm just in a different space. And so we grew our income exponentially. And then it's like it hit me what Nicola meant, y'all. When you understand how to make money and you learn leverage and principles to grow money, you'll find out that getting to the million was a lot easier than getting to the six figures. Some of you are making five figures and you're ready to scale up. Some of you want to do more with your tax business. But guess what? If you also start marketing other services, you're going to attract, listen to the play, you're going to attract people who don't know you do taxes yet. So if I put a post out, whose score starts with a 3, 4, 5, or 6, or if I say who's funding their business out of pocket, that person saw that post and responded. Now I got them because I'm going to help them get to the funding. But I'm going to say, let me ask you this, Jasmine. Who does your taxes? All right, Michael, do you already work with an established tax professional? And so now you just got a lead from one other service that you put out there, and now that attracted them to you as a tax professional. So as Miss Sheila mentioned, you put all your business in one house, so you serve your clients multiple times. My mentor said you create a lifetime client. You figure out how can you serve your client without disrupting. We're not talking about you doing taxes and selling lipstick. We're not talking about you doing taxes and selling waist trainers. We're talking about financial services, taxes, credit, funding, business credit building. It's all in the same wheelhouse. It's an easy play for those of you that are serious. Valerie says, after 15 years in the healthcare industry, only to see the media, my handwork and schooling is no longer a professional degree. I say I'm blessed and locked arms with Freedom Path. Listen, drop some fire symbols in the chat. Sounds like a smart woman to me, okay? But guys, we ain't gonna hold you. It's a Friday night. I know y'all got stuff to do, but one of the things you gotta do is get started, because the secret to getting ahead in life is getting started. You can't keep playing with that $200 that it takes to get started. 289, come on. So any questions? If not, I think it was pretty simple. It makes sense, right? Makes sense. Fonda got an international company. Fonda does immigration. Fonda has her own virtual agency with VAs. And guess what? She's talking to business owners all the time. So guess what she did? She said, Michelle, put me in the game. She had a slumber party. At that slumber party, she had a tax professional, a ERO, all the way from Texas here in Georgia. I popped up at her slumber party. I shared this information with her. Her tax pro said, I think I was invited to something like this by a girl last year. But then she said she was gonna do her own thing, but I don't want to do it by myself. I want to be able to just refer and somebody else do it. And guess what happened? She started with Fonda, and now boom, whole tax team signing up. So, y'all, this is not complicated, okay? So I'm gonna wrap it up. If y'all don't have any questions, it sounds like y'all in. So we want to say welcome to the Winner Circle, guys. Welcome to the movement. Whoever invited you on here, guys. Listen, if you start tonight and the person that invited you are part of Business in Black, I'm gonna throw a few extra freebies in. What we're gonna do is make sure we throw a few things in for them, guys. So if you're part of Business in Black and you invited them, we're gonna get them access if they sign up tonight. We're gonna go ahead, guys, and give you all access to our Outpace Inflation ebook. That book was written by one of the owners of the company. We're gonna give you a luxury stay. That's valued at a couple of grand. We'll go ahead and throw in a one-on-one strategy session with all of our top leaders. They are coaches, charge a couple $100s, but they're going to throw that in for free to meet with you and create a 90-day plan on how this could work for you. Let's see what else can we throw in for y'all. Well, we're going to give you a free success scan so you can assess your own business. We'll throw that in for you as well. That way you can see how your business stands. Like you might be pre-qualified for some money right now and don't even know it. So we'll throw that in, and let's see what else we can give y'all tonight. We'll give you a cheat sheet. So what the lenders want to see on the back end, we'll give you that cheat sheet as well. So that way, if you know what they need, you can set your funding, set your business up to get funding, but you also can include that as a value add for your clients that you're working with. Okay. So a whole lot of freebies, y'all. Let's just, how about we toss about $4,000 or $5,000 at you for $289 if you start tonight. And so if you don't, just get back with them anyway, because we do still want to help you, and we're here to help you scale and grow. All right. So that's our time. Thank you so much for everybody for being on tonight, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We'll see you guys at the bank or at the beaches. We definitely won't see you at the bottom because it's way too crowded down there. All right. Take care, everybody. Good night. Bye bye.